what a man does when he goes into the kitchen. What's up, my fellow RC addicts? Welcome back to Voyage RC. I am Moose, and I will be your tour guide and instructor through this video on how to remove your rubber tires from your wheels. I'm going to be showing you the boiling water method today, which I find to be a very cheap and effective way of unmounting your rubber tires from your wheels while keeping the wheels and tires both in good condition to be reused. I do want to mention that if there are any kids out there doing this, please have an adult helping you. We are dealing with boiling water here, so things can go sour pretty fast. So that being said, enough with the chit chat and enough with the formalities. Let's get down to business. I'm going to start off by showing you some of the supplies needed to perform this procedure. Alright guys, well, starting off with the most obvious thing, I think, is that you need your wheel and tire that you're going to be dismounting. Second and thirdly, I recommend having a good pair of tongs and a good pair of rubber gloves. This will help keep the heat out and allow you to handle the tire when taking it out of the boiling water. So they're cheap, easy to come by, so just have some of those handy. We'll be using those later. And last but not least, you will need a stove with a pot full of water so you can start boiling it. Alright guys, now that we're over here at the stove and we've got our pot filled with water, I always put hot water right out of the tap. This allows it to come up to temperature faster once we turn the stove on. The first step I'm going to do is to take the tire and wheel, submerge it in the water, give it a couple squeezes to get the air out. This will let the water in to the insert, and that'll allow, when the water starts boiling, to boil from both the inside and the outside and give you a better, more effective heat disbursement on it. Alright, now that we've got that done, I'm going to go ahead and turn the stove on, bring it up to a boil, and we'll come back to it. You can see the water's starting to boil. Just give it a few more minutes and we'll be there. Alright guys, now that it's starting to boil pretty good, we want to turn the heat down just so we can capture it at that temperature. We don't want to add any more heat and bring the boil any higher than that. We just want it to sit there and simmer for about a good half hour, maybe a little longer. This will cook the bead of glue that you have on there and allow you to just basically peel off the tire in one piece. It'll be good to reuse later if you need to mount it to a different set of wheels. And the wheel will be good to mount a new set of tires if you have a different set of tires you want to run on them. So we'll let that sit and simmer, and then we will come back and check on it. As you can see, I've flipped the tire over, and I want to mention that periodically throughout this process you want to take your tongs and fully submerge the wheel, and also every few minutes or so just flip it over. This will allow both sides to get good access to the boiling water and let it hit the glue and uncure it, if you will. So just keep that in mind, that periodically you're watching it. Like I said, it takes 30 to 45 minutes, so you've got plenty of time to come back to it. Just every 5 minutes or so, just hit it with the tongs, submerge it, and then flip it over. Alright guys, it's been about 30 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and use the tongs to pull it out of the water, set it on the table, and then we will put the gloves on and give it a check, see if it's ready to go. Even with the gloves on, it's still going to be hot, so just keep an eye on the temperature of your fingers, and when you start feeling it to get too hot, go ahead and back off for a little bit. Gloves are tight. It's starting to peel away from the bead a little bit, but it's still stuck in some spots, so we're going to put it back in for a little bit. See if we can't get the rest of the glue to come undone. Alright guys, so I let it sit for another 15 minutes. It's been 45 minutes in total. Let's pull her out and give her another shot, see what she's like now. One little spot on the outer side of the rim that's still sticking. Remember, we don't want to pull too hard because we don't want to rip the rubber on it. And the back side still needs some more time, so we'll go ahead and put that back in, let it sit for another 15 minutes, and we will come back and check it at the hour mark. Alright, so it's been about an hour now. Let's pull her out again, see where we're at. Hopefully everything will peel off nice and easily without ripping the rubber, and we won't have to put her back in again. So, let's put the gloves on, get her out, see where we're at. Alright, well, we got the whole front bead done, and there's one spot on the back bead, and I can see I already pulled it a little too hard, starting to rip a little bit. So we're just going to put it back in there for about 5 more minutes with the outside down. Should undo the glue, should be able to get it off. Alright guys, just a little over an hour. We were able to get that tire unmounted from the wheel. There you have it. Just a couple spots where I ended up ripping the rubber. But other than that, this will all clean up fairly nicely so I can reuse the wheel. And also still have a fairly good bead on the tire other than a few spots. So this tire, if I wanted to, could be reused. But they're old, they're slicks now, they're not really that grippy, they're not really good for anything other than sliding around. Probably won't be reused, but I could if I wanted to. Well, that concludes this video on how to unmount your rubber tires from your wheels. I hope it was helpful. I hope you got some good information on it. I hope you're able to do this on your own and save some money, save some time, not have to go rebuy some wheels next time you want to mount some tires. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. New videos coming out all the time, so keep tuned. Moose reporting for Voyage RC, signing off. What's up guys, just doing a little update here. This is the second tire that I'm doing off my buggy, and I had an epiphany during the first one when I realized that I shouldn't have to come back every 5 minutes and dunk the tire and flip it over with the tongs. I figured I got stuff around the house that can be placed in the boiling water and won't get ruined. So as you can see, I've got about probably $5 worth of quarters just sitting in there waiting down the wheel, holding it fully submerged so it gets the good hot boiling water all over it all at once instead of wasting time with the tongs every 5 minutes. I'm always finding new ways to modify my technique and make it better, so I came up with this one before I finished editing this video. Figured I'd bring it to you. Help you guys do a better job in the beginning instead of trying to figure this stuff out on your own.